down so hard late last Friday night.
Hi, I'm Eric. I filmed my phone and welcome to another video. Today we are diving back into Fiona Apple with Extraordinary Machine. I'm so excited to get into this project. Many of you requested it after my previous Fiona Apple reactions, and I'm just so excited. I've been vibing a lot to some songs on Win the Pawn lately, as well as some songs on Fetch the Bolt Cutters as well. Like, I also still like Idler Wheel, but like, I guess the two more recent ones in terms of me coming to know and getting to know the album, like some of those songs have just really stuck with me, especially the ones that are really heavy in piano. But I'm really excited to now finally get into the project that was released between Win the Pawn and Idler Wheel, which, like, there's a big shift between those two albums, so like, I'm excited to see what's the in-between point. I do plan on listening to Title soon-ish, like within the next couple months, so don't worry about that. But I am going to listen to the official one. I did get some requests for like this other like mixed album that wasn't the official released one, and if you guys still want me to listen to that, I can, but I do plan on listening to the official like one that's on Spotify and everywhere else, just because that's the one that Fiona and her team decided to release. Anyways, let's get into it. Track number 1 is Extraordinary Machine, the album title. Oh, Belle?
I certainly haven't been shopping for any new shoes.
I certainly haven't been shopping for any new shoes. What's that about? I only travel by foot, and by foot it's a slow climb. That Belle is so unique. There was a better way to go than it would find me. Oh, interesting perspective. Be kind to me or treat me mean. I guess it's the contrast. Extraordinary Machine. There's the title. Seek a new disaster every day. She's spitting like really interesting concepts out. Let me set your mind at ease. Oh, I am an extraordinary machine. Period. Okay, sing, Fiona. The road just rolls out behind me. She's paving the road. Most of it, I'm an extraordinary machine. Oh, that was a cute way to end. So that was Extraordinary Machine, and what a cool way to start the album. Like, I already think this is gonna be one of the big bops for me. Like, it's very simple sonically, but like lyrically, I'm just really invested in it. She's like, I don't really need your help. I'll make the most of whatever you give me. I'm an extraordinary machine. And what a way to assert herself. Like, an empowerment kind of feeling. And like, lyrically, it also explores the themes of her, you know, taking a different path in the music industry than, you know, most conventional, more mainstream artists. And like, I don't know, I feel like it really asserts herself as like, Fiona Apple is an alternative artist. Like, some alternative artists will, you know, go into some similar like mainstream kind of things, or they're just like rock artists, but like are just pushed into the alternative category. But like, she's really just being very like, wherever she wants to go, and I think that's so cool. She goes into her own lane, the world and the road just rolls out behind her, and like, that's just so cool, honestly. Sonically, it was very simple. It reminded me a little bit of like one of those like old-fashioned like cartoons, like, you know, in like TV shows or movies when they want to show that a TV show or movie happens in really olden times and is in black and white and has like some like jazzy, probably like 1920s like elements, I guess. Like, they play a similar sound to that, and I think it's a cool instrumental to start out this project, and I'm excited to see where we go next. Track number 2 is Get Him Back. Oh, starting off slow. I should have known. Fiona really does this to me. One man, he disappoints me. I think we've all been there. Every man I see, it reminds me of the one man who disappointed me. Wait till I get him back. Fiona, you're better than him. You won't have a back to scratch. Oh, is it revenge? Kill what I cannot catch. Oh. You love to put things in their place. Oh, like putting down her. He put himself so alone that he can't look me in the face. Ooh. I thought I would not return, but she's back. He didn't always get me, but he usually got my gist. Ooh. My face is fixed on the one I'm gonna get back. She's fixated on him. Oh, she goes high. Oh, that raw piano at the end, just boom. So that was a get him back, and oh, we spiced up production-wise. Like, she brought back her hard, powerful piano, which I'm always a fan of. Definitely the type of song that I've been getting into lately from her. And like, yeah, it was a fun one in terms of the sonics. Lyrically, it's about, you know, getting revenge on a couple of guys and then actually wanting to reconcile with the third guy, which, you know, like, ew, men, but like also, you know, I get it. That's kind of her character. She ends up being a little bit forgiving of her exes saying like, oh, like, yeah, you treated me horrible, but like, I'm not the type of person that should be in a relationship, which is like, like, poor Fiona. She should think better of herself. She deserves better. Like, it sounds like these men just treat her and other women like really poorly. So like, that's unfortunate that she's, you know, still thinking that these men are like something worth like her time, when in reality they're not. Apparently there's also a lot of background in terms of her personal life that's in the song. Look up the song's lyrics on Genius Lyrics. There's going to be like some links to that kind of stuff. And I just don't have, you know, the mental capacity and the time to literally go through the very long story that the song is about. But yeah, so check it out for yourself if you're interested. And if not, let's just keep going. Track number 3 is Oh Sailor. Oh, more piano. I love that she's a piano first artist. It's double-sided because I ruined it all. You probably didn't, Fiona. Everything good I deem too good to be true. It's a pretty painful before to the thing you're looking forward to. Oh, sailor, why'd you do it? Oh, he let her go. Oh, there's a high-pitched thing in the background. Don't know what that's about. I like that production where like do like go. I don't know where it's at now. Oh yeah, there. I like that. Oh, I like that it's like the background. She's in the background singing. Ooh, a lovely way to fade out. So that was Oh Sailor. And that was a cool song. Like, definitely at points I was getting a little tuned out just because we have 2 of the longer songs like towards the beginning, and the production isn't quite like Win the Pawn with like To Your Love and On the Bound, where it's like it's such a mesmerizing, harsh type of sound. This is much more softer, and while I do still like this sound, like it was definitely like, oh, I had to like get used to it. So it's definitely something that now that I've, you know, had the time to listen to it once, I now know where I'm gonna go next. When I dove into the lyrics, I really liked what I found. Like, at first I thought it was just gonna be like about a relationship, and it might be, like, you know, about like the, you know, mystical sailor who like is so not monogamous or committed to anything. But then there's some elements that fans have dived in and have been like, oh, this is actually about her and like the recording industry, which is so much more interesting. And I'm like, gasp. Like, that's so cool to like talk about. Like, I mean, it's trash, like what they've done to her, which I don't know the full story on, but it sounds like the reason why it took her 7 years for this album to come out wasn't just because like it takes her a long time to craft the album. Like, I'm sure it takes her a decent amount of time, and that's what she said on Fetch the Bolt Cutters, that it takes a long time because she gets stuck on certain melodies and certain rhythms and stuff like that. But like, her being like, yo, the music industry is fickle like a sailor in love, and like, wow, I appreciate her spilling the tea like that. I think that's really cool that she's really telling us how she feels, and like, it makes the song more interesting, and it means I think I'll like it more when I re-listen. Track number 4 is A Better Version of Me. Okay, drum roll, and then this funky kind of groove. Oh, that pause, felt that. What should I do? The question we should all ask ourselves. Okay, this groove feels so good, I love it. Can't take a good day without a bad one? What did I learn? Ooh. Let the breeze dry my face. The drum roll came back. Wait, this is way different. I'm okay. Oh, we're back. Here comes a better version of me. Okay. So that was a better version of me, which I really like, both in terms of sonics and lyrics. Like, lyrics are continuing on the road of the recording industry, you know, little jabs, being like, yo, I'm likely to miss the main event of dropping an album if I complain again, but I'm still, you know, I'm gonna be independent. I'm not gonna let the annoyance of like Sony telling her what her music can and can't be. Like, she's like, I'm over that. So she's just going to release what she wants to release, and I'm proud of her for that. Like, I like this song a lot. Sonically, it's also really fun. Like, it has a much more upbeat grooviness to it. I'm a little disappointed that it's the shortest song on the album, because I really do like it. But like, she really was like, I'm gonna get out what I need to get out, and I'm like, let's go, let's hear it. Track number 5 is Tymps, I think that's how it's pronounced. The Sick in the Head song. Okay, this is very distinct. Oh, it's not the red we painted, it's rust. Why did I kiss him so hard so last Friday night? Okay. I really used to love him. Dang. It's not the rush of remembering, it's just mush. Such an iconic question. Oh. Oh. This groove is just kind of everything. I have trouble remembering what gave me a following. Really used to love him. I like this outro. It's very like groovy and fun. So that was Tymps, or the Sick in the Head song. I don't know why it's called Tymps. I don't feel like there's timpani in there. Is there? Maybe. It's possible. She has percussion orchestras, so maybe. But like I enjoyed the song, like lyrically. I really like it. It seems online that it just is talking about like the fact that about our relationship and like how she like really misses this lover and she tries to get over him, but she can't. Which like we've heard that type of message before. But I feel like it also continues the music industry like jabs just a little bit, a little not as often, but it's that signature thing that used to bring a following. I have trouble now even remembering. Like that sounds much more like a thing about being an artist and an artist that people really like. Like she's trying to figure out what made people even like really like her music. So like I feel like that is a message I feel like sticks out to me, especially that no one on Genius is talking about that. And people should, because like that feels very relevant, especially comparing it to the previous two tracks, which both had messages about the music industry. So like I thought that was really cool. I also do like the inclusion of the messages to a relationship. I think her talking about the music industry as if they're a toxic relationship, I think that's a really good thing for her to do. I think that's a really like interesting comparison. And I think it makes something that's like not accessible to a lot of people who would listen to her music because they're not music artists. Like it makes it much more accessible because they can compare it to a toxic relationship that I feel like a lot of people have been through. I also just really like the sonics of it. It's kind of much more like happy than like the song is. The song's not happy at all. She's like, I'm so sick in the head. I have to be blood dry, which is like very dramatic and very dark. Whereas like the song itself like is a groovy track. So like I feel like she's known for that type of contrast. And I'm still a fan. Track number 6 is a parting gift. This feels like a start of a ballad. Are we ready for that? You looked as sincere as a dog when you were kissing me. It is my fault. Stop blaming yourself. Oh, she's being very loud now. You were always good for rhyme. Oh, she wrote him into the songs. It ended bad, but I love what we started. Oh, I like that sentence. So as to not see you see me react. Oh, I should have put them on so that I could see the sincerity. You silly, stupid pastime of mine. Dang. All the signs say stop, but they kept going on. Oh, a nice piano ballad. So that was Parting Gift. And oh, what a pretty piano ballad. I don't think I typically like Fiona's ballads nearly as much as her like really hard piano, like kind of stuff. And I like this though. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it, thoroughly vibed the, that feeling of, oh, it didn't end well, but I do love what we started. And, going back to certain moments in the relationship, like when fighting or kissing, like things that are pretty regular within some sort of relationship, especially if it didn't end well. Like those two things end up being very relevant. Like, I think it's a nice, like, reflective song. Like, it's not really saying that she's much to blame. She does blame herself a little bit, which, like, not a big fan of her blaming herself, but, she'll do what she does. And, like, I do like, though, that it's not a huge emphasis on that. but it's also not a huge emphasis on blaming the partner. It's like, oh, like, we know that there were bad signs, but we kept going wholehearted, and you know, it ended up how it ended up. But like, I like that it's not taking a giant judgment on it. I think that makes it so you can think of it when you think of many of the relationships you might have had. It's a pretty song, and like, it's interesting that we just get it like smack dab in the middle of the album, like a full-on piano ballad, but I'm still here for it. Track number 7 is Window. Ooh, percussion orchestra time. I was staring out the window the whole time you were talking to me? Dang. Saying you need to clean the window. I couldn't help noticing the problems of the window. She wants to break the window. It may seem like I'm fixated on a clear view. Oh yes, I love how we transition here. It sounds so good. I had to break the window. Ooh. It was in my way. She's crushing through. She didn't want to miss what she could see. I only see what I'm looking through. Ooh, like something clouding her judgment. I feel like this is either about a toxic relationship or maybe the glass ceiling. I did the right thing. I was never worried about that. You can't even tell what you're looking through because of how clear it is. Better that I break the window rather than him or her or me, but you broke it. It was in my way. I think this is a glass ceiling reference. It was in my way. Ooh, she went ad-libbed. I do like this piano here. It feels just so good. Classic Fiona. Oh, some brass at the end? So that was a Window, and I really liked that song both sonically and lyrically. Sonically, classic grooves and classic her being raspy, doing her signature sound, and it's a good time. I thoroughly enjoy that. Lyrically, I'm looking it up, and everyone just says, like, on Genius that the window equals love. And, like, I definitely see that, like, you know, the idea of, like, rose-tinted glasses or, you know, a filthy paned window, you know? Like, that makes sense, and that she has to break out of that. But, like, I still definitely think that there's a lot more commentary on this album that is at the recording industry now that I heard that on O Sailor. Like, I'm like, she didn't just do that on 2 songs. Like, I feel like that's wrapped around, like, a lot of her work. Like, this is a 6-year break, 6 or 7 year break that she did here. And, like, the notion that, like, only a couple of songs would be, like, subtle jabs at her, you know, record industry just feels like not, like, what I think is the case. Like, I definitely think that it has to do with glass ceiling stuff and, like, how basically, like, you know, she is a woman, and a woman who does her type of music, which is, you know, kind of unorthodox, like, she, like, is, you know, trying to break the window and, like, break the mold, let her be herself. And she's like, better that I break the window, or, like, society's, like, expectations or society putting women like herself down than actually physically break him or her or me. Like, that's my guess on, like, a lot of it. Like, that's how I feel about it. I definitely see that it could be in a relationship as well, and I think it probably has both of those elements in the song. But, like, I can't imagine that it's entirely just about love. Like, for a 5.5, you know, minute song, like, and having, like, different, like, changes on how it goes. Like, it doesn't seem like it's just like, oh, I'm breaking up with this person because I'm getting out of this like rose-tinted situation. Like, it feels much more than that and much more grounded in like a whole society thing. But regardless of what like the lyrics actually mean, I do really enjoy it, and I think it's a really well done song. Track number 8 is Oh Well. Ooh, more piano. We're really getting a piano heavy album and I'm a fan. I try to talk sense to myself, but I just won't listen. What you did to me made me see myself something awful. Took me so long to get up the first time you did it. My peace and quiet was stolen from me. Oh, I like how she's just like beating those lyrics into our ears. I was just about settled, but you came to me. Oh, I like that switch up that she keeps doing. It's good. I'm somebody who doesn't believe in that stuff. What stuff? Oh, cinematic way to end. So that was Oh Well, and wow, like lyrically, I just kind of like, it hit a little bit. Like after reading, it seems that it's about like someone who loves conditionally and, you know, treated her poorly and made her see herself in like an ugly light basically. And, you know, we don't stand toxic men, get them out. Like, Fiona has had her share of toxic men, more than her share. People should have 0 toxic men in their life, but unfortunately the world isn't like that now, is it? But she's, you know, trying to get a better version of her in her mind. And I like that this album has been rather optimistic. Like, she's gonna break the window. She's going to have a better version of her. She's gonna get him back as she wants him. Like, she's an extraordinary machine. Like, I like that this album has gotten much more optimistic than some of her other projects, which are kind of devastating a little bit. So, like, yeah, I'm a fan of this song. The production, I think I'm gonna have to get used to. It is a little bit on the slower side, but I am, now that I've like listened to the lyrics and like read them as well, like I think I'm going to vibe to the song more. The second half of the song, like I really liked a lot better than the first, where she would do those like sonic switches where it would get like really like raw and in your face for a minute before going into the main production. Like I liked that more raw elements more, and so it would be exciting to hear more of that from her in the forthcoming songs. Track number 9 is Please, Please, Please. Oh, we're using some good drum beats here. Please, 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 right at the start. I like the percussive nature of that. I'm so tired of crying, you'd think I was a siren. Give us something familiar, something similar. Ooh, I like the steady going nowhere. Like how that intonation. No apologies, period. Oh, I like how she switched up how she delivered please, please, please. I love how she delivers steady going nowhere like so much. You can hear a sad brain screaming. I like this production. It just feels nice to fade out on it. So that was Please, Please, Please. And I thoroughly enjoyed that song. Like, it had a very groovy rhythm to me. Like the please, please, please. Like, she was getting to the point there, and I really liked that. Lyrically, it's about, you know how melodies have been recycled and a lot of rhythms are being recycled, and which feels ahead of its time, whereas now in like 2020 and 2021, it feels like we literally are clearly saying, oh, this is an 80s type of album. This has a throwback feel to it. And like, she's saying straight up, like, we don't need more melodies. We don't need more remedies. I don't need more remedies. Don't tell me how to live my life. And I think that goes along with the message of the album. Like, this album is very cohesive. Probably one of her most cohesive albums in terms of like the lyrical messages, at least. And I feel like also sonically it seems pretty cohesive, which I think is because, you know, there's one person she basically re-recorded with. So like that would make a lot of sense why it all sounds very cohesive. It does sound very cohesive, and it doesn't feel redundant in any way, but it does feel like we are getting a consistent feel throughout it. And I'm excited to see if that trend continues or see what happens. Track number 10 is Red, Red, Red. I wonder if that relates to Please, Please, Please with the repetition. Okay, this doesn't sound like the beginning of Please, 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 so it's not the same melody. I don't understand what about complementary colors. All I can see is red, red, red. Ooh. I wonder if that red is rust or if it's like actually red. What's so impressive about diamonds except the mining? Kill. All the repetition of that. Wow. Oh, kill yourself doing it? Oh, what is that instrument coming out in the background? I really like it. Is it my fault? She really keeps thinking that she's gonna blame herself. What's coming is already on its way. Ooh. I never understand, but I'll try. Ooh, that morphing right now. Okay. So that was Red, Red, Red. And that was such an interesting song. Like, yeah, I thought it was really cool about her trying to understand but never being able to understand. And about like complementary colors just end up neutralizing each other. And it's a gray for her because it's a gray area. And also the diamond thing. I'm just pulling random lyrics out of it that really like struck home for me. But like also the diamond, like how they're really only valuable because they're rare, and the process to find one, like it's a hard work, it's dangerous labor. And like, yeah, I think there's a lot of cool ruminations that happen on this song. In terms of sonically, I do like this song. It definitely does feel more like a deep cut rather than something that's trying to be fully in your face or fully like pulled back and stripped back. Like it walks that little bit of a middle ground. And so I think I have to listen to it more to get a full opinion on it, but I think for now I like it. Track number 11 is Not About Love. Oh, this feels very ominous. Her delivery and the production makes it a little bit harder to decipher on the listening. Diagram for a play for blood? I can taste your agenda. Oh, I like that sentence a lot. Okay. Oh, that felt like she sampled a little of like Can't Help Falling in Love with You. This feels like a funkier version of like On the Bound. I miss that stupid what? Wait, this gives me like early Shamika vibes. I chose to listen to that filthy mouth. Okay. Oh, I love how she went so slow after being so fast. This is not about love. What is it about? It's not about love because I'm not in love. Yes, take us out. So that was Not About Love. And that was such a cool, interesting song. That like definitely sucked me into the album, being like, sonically, we're gonna be all over the place and you're gonna like every second of it. And that's how I feel about that song. Like, Not About Love really hits. Like, I think it's about like they were sharing like secrets with each other, like, but probably like in a fight format. And then they have to like think about what was said the next day. And she's like, I'm not in love anymore. So this is not about love. I'm just like mourning the loss of this relationship. And at first, when it was like, oh, this is not about love, at first I was thinking it was going to be, more about the, music industry commentary. I don't think it's about that at all, but I could be wrong. There could be some messages there. There's a lot of lyrics to decipher, especially when she goes really fast. And like, I don't want to rush the greatness of Fiona Apple by just really skimming through it. So like, I definitely invite you to check it out for yourself, because it seems like there's a lot in here, and definitely I groove to it sonically. Lyrically, I'm gonna need more time to actually digest everything she's saying. Track number 12, last track on this album, Waltz, in parentheses, Better Than Fine. Oh my gosh, sings in 3/4. They hit different. Oh, we're into some more piano? Okay. Oh, I like this piano, like, coming in here even more.
If you don't have a song to sing, you're okay.
You don't have a song to sing, you're okay. Oh, you can hum? And she hummed. Go out and sit on the lawn and do nothing. Period. No, I don't believe in the wasting of time. Ooh. But I don't believe I'm wasting mine. Interesting dichotomy. This does feel like it has some very classical elements in here. Oh, that was cool. I'm better than fine. Let's go. Oh, very satisfying way to end. So that was Waltz, in parentheses, Better Than Fine, and what a better than fine way to end the album. Like, I'm not typically into classical music much. Like, I don't really do stuff like waltzes, like, just general stuff. It reminds me of IB Music Theory. Didn't really do that well in there, but I do remember much of the information on it. And like, classical music just normally isn't my thing. I'm definitely like, if we're talking like old music, like I'm definitely a Baroque or a Romantic, not the classical area where it feels all mathematical and stuff like that. Like, not the biggest fan of that, but like, she made it fun. She made it like Fiona-esque, and like, it sounds really fun, and like, it's just, more of a pep talk, much like Extraordinary Machine, the title track, about like, she doesn't have to worry about like people saying that she's wasting her time, because she can do what the heck she wants. She's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions, and she's not wasting her time. She doesn't have to release songs all the time, like, because when she does give us this music, like, it's so good, and it's also like so deep and like intricate that we can spend plenty of time on it. So we don't need an album every year or every few months like a lot of newer artists today. Like, we can hear it when we hear it. And while I hope that we do get Fiona Apple music sooner than 8 years, I'm sure it will be well worth the wait when it happens. So sonically, I actually did really like it. I think her having much more instrumental in it preps us really well for Idler Wheel, which is next to come, which has a lot more longer instrumental introductions to songs. So like, I'm okay with how that happened. And I think I do like this as a closer. Like, it's probably one of my favorite closers. That and On I Go are probably my two favorite closers that of albums from Fiona Apple that I've heard, because like, Largo, and I cannot remember what the end of When the Pawn, the title of it is, but they're very slow and like they're just not as interesting, I guess, as like a Waltz Better Than Fine or an On I Go. So like I'll take it. I really like it, and I think I'll like it even more when I listen to this album front to back without stopping. With that said, we have finished this album, and I am so happy that we got more Fiona Apple. I mean, I got more Fiona Apple. Y'all have had the same amount of Fiona Apple since April. But, you know, I'm glad that this is now in my life. There's several songs in here that I definitely know are worth replaying a lot. Like, all these messages of being like, oh, you're not wasting your time. You're being in touch with yourself, and you don't need him. And just also just like the jabs back at the music industry. Always a big fan of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm sure you've been able to tell with a lot of my other reactions that deal with artists talking about the music industry. Like, it matters. And it's so interesting to hear, especially because sometimes they jab at the music industry, but when they're still under contract to the industry that they're upset with, which I find incredibly interesting. And like, it's cool. It's very interesting how this album came together, and you can definitely tell that there's been a pause in her life because like it doesn't sound like Win the Pawn, and it definitely also doesn't sound like Either Wheel. Like, it definitely fits its own distinct era, and it makes sense. It was the only album of hers that dropped in the 2000s, like the 00s. So like the fact that she basically releases a new album each decade now, like, your era and your sonic sound is going to change, and I like how we see her evolve. Like, this definitely feels like a missing piece in between Win the Pawn and Either Wheel to get those differences, like piano to much more percussive. Like, this has a little bit of blend, and I like where we end up here. I like this body of work, and yeah, it makes me really curious about what the John Bryan one, I think it's his name is, like the original recorded album. I wonder what that sounds like. So if you want me to listen to that one as well, and then comment on which songs I like better, like which versions I like better. I think there was also songs on this project that aren't on the original. Like, I think Parting Gift was one of them. So like, let me know if you want me to react to that as well. I know I'll also be reacting to Title like in the coming months, because I definitely need to know where she started. Like, she was a teen at the time, so she's definitely gonna be very vulnerable, which she is on all her albums, but like especially when you are a teen and you get a lot more pressure in the music industry, and you can't really avoid that pressure as much because you are a teen and trying to break into the music industry. And so now, like, this is definitely an album where she's much more comfortable with her sound. She's like, yeah, I'm like vibing here. Like, I'm just gonna do what I want, and you can't really stop me, and fans are still gonna love it, and we do still love it. Like, it's a good project, not disappointed at all. Really a big fan, and I'm really excited to listen to it more, especially in headphones, because all her percussion and all her piano is just always so good, and we really got a treat here. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier, the songs that I love, the songs I'm going to be playing over and over again, the standouts. In the middle, we have songs that I like. I'll add them to my playlist, but I might not play them nearly as much as the top tier. And then songs at the bottom are not really my thing. Doesn't mean they're a bad song. Doesn't mean they can't be your favorite song. It just means it's probably not for me, probably not made for me, and that's okay. We can have different opinions. Fiona makes songs for everyone. If you like this video, please like it. Please comment down below what you'd like me to react or listen to next. Please subscribe to my channel if not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles, it's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles don't need to know why. Smile